Guys, here with another episode of Trainer Confidential. Got some pretty exciting news today about a couple different things. Bodybuilding news, that's what we're all about. So we want to throw a couple things by you. Let's get started. How you doing tonight, Donnie?
Absolutely, man. Hey, I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. On Sundays now I train a group at the church down at the gym. So every Sunday. So that's going pretty good. It's, they're older people and it's going pretty good. They keep on showing up. So,
yeah, because they feel the benefits.
Yeah. And, I'm usually really tired at that time and I don't really want to go do it. But once I step foot in that gym, doesn't matter if I'm training or not, my energy levels just go way up. And it's what I love to do. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And it helps out a lot. But yeah, I love training people and helping them, with their goals. It's just fun. So that was my day. So I'm gonna go ahead and share some screens, and I want to talk about first. This is kind of a funny story here. So this is Palumbo's channel here, RX Muscle. So this guy here, what they're doing here is they're stretching them out. This is Stefan. They had a classic physique bodybuilding show. I think it was in Austria or something like that, or I'm not sure really where it was, but he didn't make he was too heavy in his weight class, so they were trying to literally stretch him out to gain some height so he could get in the
make him taller.
So I just want to play that for a second here. We'll go to the next clip.
Kind of stretching his body in the Instagram post, and then you can see Michael, holding on the guy's foot, and then you see, in the next post I put up.
So apparently they didn't have an inversion table.
No. I mean, obviously, and his whole thing about this is like, you got to know your height, man. You got to know your height.
You should, yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot of I know my first when I did classic physique the first time, I've been 6'2" all my life, and but I had a couple back surgeries. I'm a lot bigger now, and all that compression, I'm only 6'1" now. And I didn't know that. So I mean, that's a thing.
And one thing people have to realize is you're actually a little taller in the morning than you are in the evening, because you sleep at night and the pads between the vertebrae, they get a chance to open up and stuff, but when you're standing up all the time, all that gravity, it's just gravity. It compresses those discs, and then you lose about, like tenths of an inch and stuff like that. You're not dropping whole feet, but you're dropping tenths of an inches, in height. And I guess in his situation, tenths of an inch can make quite the difference.
Well, and I don't know I don't know what his height was and what he needed to be at, but it's just right. Like, so theoretically what they were doing worked. I mean, he did compete. So he this is him getting his height here. So I don't know what he's doing with the foot there. It's not going to help him any, but he made it. The first thing I see is his chin needs to be up. He's losing height right there in itself because he's not standing straight up.
Yeah, you could kind of straighten up and
yeah. But at any rate, he ended up competing, so it worked out for him. But I thought that was kind of a funny little story.
Did it say how he placed?
No, I didn't look at that. That.
Okay.
But the thing is, the Manions are allegedly they're gonna do a lot of work on the classic physique, because classic physique is getting pretty popular, and so they're gonna do a lot more work
too, dude.
Yeah, and he's
going through some changes too.
Yeah, which is a good thing. So, I mean, they added the weight class for added the weight for a couple classes this last year, and so we're probably going to see some differences this coming year too. So that's a good thing. Next thing I want to do a Samson update. Oh no, I like Samson. Well, this is 12 weeks out from the Arnold right here.
Samson is looking just I don't know. He's looking, from the last time I saw him, he looks like he's a lot fuller.
Yeah, and mind you, he has not had an off season. He hasn't had an off season all year that I know of. I mean, he did the Arnold, he did the Olympia. He just got done doing 2 shows, the Prague and Evil, or the Evil Prague, and what's the other one he did? But he's done a crap load of shows, and wait till you see the back. I mean, this is 12 weeks out. I don't see who's going to beat him at this point right now, unless Hadi Chupin shows up. Hadi Chupin shows up, he's got some competition, but there is something that could happen too, because we have another contestant or another competitor that's going to be showing up that is going to be a threat. But I don't know. Samson is his back is looking better, his hamstrings are looking better. He's big, he's full.
Yeah, the thing he's just got to really, whoever's working with him has got to really get him chiseled. This reminds me of an old African proverb. If we're talking about Chupin and we're talking about Samson, this is an African proverb. You can stuff a zebra and starve an elephant, but a zebra is still a zebra, an elephant still an elephant. So yeah,
that's right.
With Samson, you can suck him. I mean, really try to get that detail in. He's not gonna lose any ground as far as not dwarfing, whoever he's standing next to. It's just not gonna happen.
Well, it's like what they did with Ramy. I mean, Ramy. What we talked about that before his last Olympia. He was probably under 2,000 calories in that Olympia, because he was shredded to the bone. So and that's exactly what you just said is exactly right with that. I mean, he's still an elephant. So
yeah, no joke. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that's 12 weeks out. This is going to be very exciting. I mean, he's definitely by far my favorite bodybuilder. And I think he's going to take the Arnold again. I mean, this is 12 weeks out. He could step up on stage right now, and he's got 12 weeks. So
I say starve the elephant.
Yeah. See what he's evolved so much from last Arnold to now to the Olympia. Every show he evolves. He's got a lot of potential. So, but
once you get him to that super depleted level and stuff, how much would you fill him out? Would you not think it would take a lot of carbs to fill him out, or would you really? How would you do that?
Well, that's a good question. I know from I've heard Milos talk about the fact that he doesn't need to get that filled out. He holds the glycogen a lot longer than everybody else. But yet we see him on the Olympia stage, and he faded out, right? He faded out.
True.
So,
true.
But is he taking in 2,000 grams of carbs a couple days before the show? I don't think he's doing that. He's just he just stays full, but he fades out quickly. So I don't know. He does fade.
You're right, because that he'll burn through that 2,000, and especially the way the judges just grilled the top five.
Yes.
I mean, you are out there. I mean,
yeah.
I'm surprised a lot more people don't flatten out.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And it was, and just talking about that, I mean, Hadi during that time and Lunsford, they were just getting better and better. During, the more they were posing, the better they were getting. So, but yeah, so here's a threat that we have, and that's Andrew Jack. This is 14 weeks out. So it's a couple weeks before that post. Andrew is looking really good. And he's got aesthetics behind him.
That's what I'm saying. He's looking good. Yes, I see he's looking good. I still think he needs a true off season. He's looking good in terms that he's aesthetic and stuff, but for his height, he's taller than Samson. We should be saying, man, he is looking ginormous.
You're right.
We're saying he's looking good in terms of development, in terms of balance, in terms of all these other things. But the thing about it is this, and I know a lot of people they get turned off with, well, it's not always about size, and always in this case it is.
Yeah, it is. It is. He's got to fill out. He has a big frame to fill out.
I get it. No, it's not, well, bodybuilders, we always try to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I listen to everybody talk about it,
Yeah.
And but in this case, that's the issue.
Well, it's symmetry, size, and conditioning. Now you take like Nick Walker, even Derek Lunsford, even Hadi Chupin, they're shorter guys. You don't want to get them any bigger because they're going to get blocky.
They're tapped out.
You know what I mean? They're tapped out. But he's
there's not enough vertical real estate.
Yeah, but he's like 6'2", 6'3", so he has a lot of room to fill out. And
he's shorter than Samson.
Yeah,
shorter than Samson.
So he's like a couple inches
he's taller
taller
than Samson. He's taller than Samson.
Yeah, he is. So but he's changing his food around, remember? He's adding more food. So I don't know, let's just see what he's gonna do.
All he needs, keep his protein the same, just bump those carbs.
Bump the carbs up, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's in Dubai training right now, I believe. That's where he's been doing his thing at. So
but I mean, I get it. I mean, his structure. I mean, he's a big man. The thing about it is this: you think he's hovering around about 300 pounds right now?
I don't think so. No, I think he's under 300 pounds. Not very much. Maybe 280, 290.
But he could be. But the thing about it is this: he could, but he doesn't look it.
Yeah.
I mean. When people talk about his weight, oh yeah, he's 270, 280 and something. Well, he doesn't look that though.
Yes, yeah, you're right. And you got Samson standing right next to him that is 300 pounds. And
I'm not trying to be overly critical of him and stuff. All I'm saying is he needs to fill out some more.
Yeah.
And like I said, you and I, we both heard the spiel about, it's not always about size, it's not always about size. Yeah. In a lot of cases, it's not.
No,
this is not one of those cases.
No, I mean, just the our last two Olympias, two shorter guys have won it. Phenomenal bodybuilders. I mean, they definitely won their Olympia. But now it's the day. I mean, we have some big dudes out there, guys over 6 feet that are around 300 pounds. If they're on point, then they are always going to win against that shorter guy that is filled out in his conditioning. As long as they're conditioning and they're filled out right, the size is going to win. It is.
Yeah, and just I'm going to harp on that and stuff. So basically, what we're saying is this: you got two big guys. You got Samson and you got Jack. Jack needs to get bigger, and Samson needs to get tighter.
Yeah,
that's all. It's just those one things.
Yep.
One's just got to get bigger. One's got to get a little tighter.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's basically King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah,
forget Rodan and all the other ones and stuff. It's just those two. But yeah.
He's an electrical engineer by trade too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's from Nigeria. He's an actual, and I believe he's still doing that for income. But he's an electrical engineer. He's a smart guy. Yeah.
Well, bodybuilders, you know the deal. We're moonlighting.
We do.
To render some serious cash.
So now we don't know who's all doing the Arnold yet. There's rumors that Hadi Chupin can do it. I really would love to see Hadi Chupin there, and he's who I'm going to talk about next, actually. But
right,
we got Nexzilla too, Ruben, and he, I was watching Kevin Laverne was talking about him today, and he calls him it, and he said the only time I've ever said it instead of him was with Ronnie Coleman because they're not human.
He's another one that doesn't really need a long off season. He is, all he's got to do is just get more detail. That's it.
Yeah.
He's as big as he needs to get. All he just needs to maintain the size that he has. Doesn't have to try to get bigger, but just maintain the size that he has and just refine the heck out of that pup. He's still young.
Yeah, he's 27 years old.
He's an IFBB pro, and he's still trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah. His quads are 37 inches. That's insane. He's probably got the biggest quads in bodybuilding right now.
Sergio Oliva at his height, at the height of his career, and they call him the myth. One of the reasons because he had 30-inch thighs.
Mm-hmm.
30-inch thighs and a 29-inch waist or something like that. 29-inch waist, 30-inch thighs. Which is 30-inch thighs. That's pretty. But this kid has got 37-inch, almost 40-inch thighs.
Yeah.
That is
and shredded. They're shredded, separated, everything. he's got
unbelievable.
He's got tree trunks, is what he's got. So calves, he's got huge calves.
He's like Bertil Fox's younger brother.
Yeah. And just his muscle insertions too, like on his calves, he's got those high calves. They're inserted a little higher, but they're so big, they're 3D no matter where he's standing. I mean, he's just a ginormous guy.
Well, right now, at this point, he is just a diamond in the rough with a lot of potential.
Yeah.
If there's ever going to be another Phil Heath or
Coleman,
Ronnie Coleman, Dorian Yates, if anybody is going to break out and have some multiple wins, I mean, like maybe a 4 or 5. I don't really see like a 7 or 8 Olympia run, but I think some people can probably get like 3, maybe 4 in.
I think so too.
If anybody has the potential to do it, if they were to really get it together, it would probably be him.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
yeah,
I'm just kind of riding off what Dexter was saying about him and stuff. I mean, the potential is there. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a difference between the two. We'll see what happens, but the potential is there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So next thing I want to talk about Hadi. I know we talked about this before. He won last year's Olympia. Didn't really see anything of him. When you're Mr. Olympia, you got kind of a title. You got a title to take, and you also need to be the Mr. Olympia. You need to go out there. You need to guest pose. You need to throw yourself out there. And he really didn't do none of that. But now he is. He has ever since this last Olympia. He's been posting. I mean, this one was done 5 days ago. He's doing YouTube workouts and all that kind of stuff, working with Evogen. And so I love this. He's getting out there and doing his thing now. So that is awesome. I love seeing this. I go back here and just look at these reels. I mean, they're, these are all new. So November 24th. I mean, you know what I mean? He wasn't posting like this before. So
no,
this
he wasn't.
No,
he wasn't.
This is a good thing. And
I
like seeing this.
The family pics really hit home, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Family pics really hit home.
Did you happen to see his homecoming when he came back from the Olympia in his country?
No, I did not.
This is it right here.
Wow.
He is a hero over there. And I would be grinning ear to ear just like he is. He is a hero over there.
It's good stuff.
And he didn't win it, but that doesn't matter to his people there. I love that. That's awesome. And that's why he does that. Is literally why he's doing what he's doing is for his country. So that's cool.
They'll give him mad love and he will really appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, that just drives you even harder, right? I mean, if you have that kind of love behind you, yeah.
It does.
I mean, possibilities are endless like that. So his head's in the right spot. His head's in the right spot. So I mean, Hadi Chupin, we're going to see a lot more of him. I hope to see him with the Arnold. I really do.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But definitely gonna be seeing him Olympia because he's got he's already qualified because he got second. But
yeah, he is.
Yeah,
so. he's already qualified. He's making a boatload of money for a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So and he's going to build up a lot of following on his social media and stuff, and he's going to make money that way too.
Yep.
So it's all good.
Yeah. So I'm happy to see that. So you wanted to talk about we had the Nationals.
Yeah, we had the Nationals. There wasn't a lot of fanfare behind it because man, there was a time where the Nationals was the show,
Yeah.
That was, that was it's still considered the toughest amateur show in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The NPC Nationals, and there wasn't a lot of fanfare behind it. I kind of find it a little bit surreal, I remember the Nationals and like I said, a lot of good pros came out of the Nationals. Sean Ray, Lee Haney, Vince Taylor, all these guys, won the Nationals, So yeah, and we had there's this one kid, and this is the Nationals, the toughest amateur show in the world. He took not only his class, but he took the overall in classic physique at 19.
That is insane. He's the youngest bodybuilder, the youngest professional bodybuilder out there right now.
Yeah, Anton Ratuzny, so, so you gotta, whenever I see people like that break out like that, I say, okay, let's give this a few years and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
The guy's 19 years old, so he's hungry, and this isn't, you know, I mean, classic physique is firmly established.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe 6-7 years ago, I could see somebody maybe pulling it off, but not now.
Now, I mean, would you say that classic physique is more popular than bodybuilding right now?
Yes.
I think so too.
Yes.
I think so too.
Mainly because the physiques are extraordinary, but yet they're attainable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, you get people that follow that genre that can say, hey, look, I would be willing to do the things that I need to do to get that good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, because what they're not seeing is they're not. Go ahead.
And I'm sure you've heard a lot too. You know, people like that go to the gym, you know, gym goers and stuff, and they're like, man, that's too big. I don't want to look like that. You know, I'd like to look like this. And it's always classic physique. That's, you know, they want the Arnold physique. You know, they don't want to look like Ramy or nothing like that. You know, there's
I call it sometimes I call it a sex appeal over mass appeal, you know.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
Mean, you know, that's how you know a lot of people see it and stuff, you know. So especially classic physique, men's physique. I mean, you know, if you've ever gone to a show, I've gone to a lot of amateur shows and stuff, and especially at the regional level, the local level. And whenever I find myself, I'm sitting like in the middle, you know, towards the front, because you know I'm coaching somebody and stuff, you know. And sometimes I'll notice when the classic physique guys and the men physique guys, when they show up, I'm surrounded by women all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
Nice.
All right. Where'd all these women come from? They don't come from when the bodybuilders show up. You know what I mean? But you know, but they show up when the classic physique and the physique guys show up. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Why do you think that is with women?
I mean, you know, it's
just the freak factor with bodybuilding is just a little too much.
Well, you know, I mean, the thing about the thing about it is, you know, more the element of aesthetics is more prominent in classic physique and physique than in its bodybuilding. Yes, you can have you got very aesthetic bodybuilding physiques, you know, but you know, you have very powerful physiques and you got rugged physiques and. But typically, you don't have that, you know, in so much in classic physique or men's physique. It's pretty much most of the time it's aesthetics.
Yeah,
you know, it's aesthetics. And though you know it's come quite a long way because you can get a classic physique guy could rival almost any bodybuilder back in the 70s. You know, or even a men's physique for that point because these guys are looking phenomenal and stuff. You know, but it's first and foremost with them is aesthetics. You know. Aesthetics is sexy.
Well, you know? and I've noticed on the bodybuilding stages shows that I've done, you know, I mean, I'm usually heavyweight and what I might have what Emerald Cup, what I had eight competitors or something like that. Not very many. I mean, I've done shows where I've had 3 competitors and it's just like, but then you go to classic and especially men's physique, there'll be 30 dudes up there. You know what I mean?
from a promoter standpoint, classic physique, men's physique, bikini, even wellness, they're drawing the most crowd. Now, I will say, well, you know, men's bodybuilding, you know, especially in the pro ranks, is still driving the market for the most part. You know what I mean? It is, but especially at the local level and stuff, you know, men's physique and classic physique and bikini and I mean, they. You know, if we just had bodybuilding like we did back in the 80s, early 80s, I don't see how the sport could have survived.
Yeah.
You know, as a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why we brought in figure and fitness because the turnout was getting low, even though we had female bodybuilding at the time and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
There still wasn't a lot of turnout, but you know, bikini and fitness and figure started changing that, and we started adding other genres, and it's worked out for us. Personally speaking, I think it was a good thing because, you know, it bodybuilding finally got smart and they took advantage of the adversities of the sport, you know. You know, because not everybody's going to be a mass monster. Not everybody can be super aesthetic. Not everybody can be this, that, and the other and stuff. And you got genres for that, you know. And it's really helped a lot of people who who have the aesthetics to be a good classic physique guy or a physique guy, but yet all he had was bodybuilding. You know what I mean?
You're right.
And more than likely he was very good. It's just that, he couldn't attain the size that he needs to be very competitive, but he's very aesthetic. He's got a great physique. And so it's like, oh, well, hey guys, sorry, things are turning out this way for you, but we don't have to do that anymore. You know?
You're right. A good example to that is like Rough Diesel, for example.
Yes.
Smaller guy. He's got a great classic physique. I mean, he could take classic physique at the Olympia in the future. It just a little bit of work, but he's a smaller guy. In open,
he's another one that has to get bigger.
Yeah, he's got to get bigger. But if he was doing open, he wouldn't do anything at all.
No,
right?
No.
I mean,
Chris Bumstead, you're like in the days of Sean Ray and all these guys that there was no 212 at the time. It was open. Boom, that's it.
Yeah.
If you're weighing 240 and you're weighing 195, guess what? You're competing against each other. That's the way it was in the pros back then.
Yeah. When did they switch that? Was that 1979 where they switched it just to open? So it's 79 or 80?
Well, they were bouncing back and forth. Like let's take for instance the Mr. Olympia. They would have a 200 division, and they would have the open division. And I remember Arnold's last one before he came back. Franco won the 200 division, and he won the open division because he beat Lou Ferrigno and he beat Serge Nubret. Things didn't really start breaking down until the NPC actually came into play and stuff, because at the time that Arnold won that Olympia, that last Olympia before he came back, there was no NPC. Mm-hmm. It was AAU. They had weight classes, but they didn't have the different genres of bodybuilding and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So was it 79 when Frank Zane won? The overall.
I'm trying to remember my first NPC show. It was in the mid 80s. I remember that because prior to that I was competing AAU. Mm-hmm. And when Tony Pearson won the Mr. America, that was very controversial, that everybody thought Ron Teufel was going to win. That's when they started. That's when rumors were going out that maybe we need to have our own organization. Maybe it's time for us to break away from the NPC, because the AAU, because the AAU and the IFBB, they kind of, the Mr. America, AAU Mr. America, that was the show. As a matter of fact, the Nationals is what replaced the AAU Mr. America. Mm-hmm. And they still have the AAU Mr. America, as a matter of fact, but nobody really knows about it. But
that's crazy. I love the history. I love the history on it. Actually, I like hearing you talk about that a lot, about the history of the Olympias and what they used to do back then.
Yep.
That's all. That's all we got for tonight. You got anything else?
That's it, my friend.
All right. Well, you guys got any questions? Thank you for watching. First of all, like and subscribe. You got any comments? We've been liking the comments a lot. Thank you guys. We're just trying to do bodybuilding news. So whatever's out there, we're going to throw it out there, whether it shows or whatever it is. We love to talk about this. We could talk forever about it. So
appreciate the turnout last time.
You guys are listening, and we'll keep doing it. All right. You guys have a good night. You have a good night, too, buddy.